What's going on, y'all? Y'all know what time it is. Time for news for dudes and information women can use. Listen, I want to just sit and talk to y'all about something that's near and dear to me. We're going to talk about Black History Month, or we're going to talk about Black history altogether. And I normally do this yearly rant or discussion about Black history that because it tends to bother me. Not that I disagree with Black History Month, because I don't. I think that we all could use time, a certain time, to talk about, educate, and empower our people and other people about our culture, about our community, about our history. It's a beautiful thing talking about our history, but I'm going to say that again. It's a beautiful thing to talk about our history. The sad thing is the education we receive, the information that we take in and gladly rehash is upsetting, offensive, and downright brainwashing material. Now, what do you think I mean by that? It is great to know about all of the things from our history. It is great to know who invented peanut butter or who invented the straightening comb. There's so much missing out of them people's lives that people don't talk about. But I'm going to leave that for y'all to do your own research. Uh, it is great to hear about how the slaves were freed and what we went through. It is great to hear about 90% of the accomplishments that are talked about during Black History Month. What's saddening is 95% of the information that is received and rehashed and talked about is American history, is the information of Black people that happened after slavery. So it almost makes you feel like Black people did not exist prior to slavery. Because we don't talk about the history. We don't talk about that Africa was once named Akibalan. We don't talk about that the original human beings, the beginning of life, started in Africa. We don't talk about the great kings and queens that were Black. We don't talk about Mansa Musa. During the 1300s, he was the king, the ruler of Mali. But he would have been, if you took the how rich he was then and put it into our money, he would have been the richest person in the world. He would have been worth $400 billion today. We don't talk about that. No one knows about that. No one knows about the triumphs that we did prior to coming to America. Oh, but someone will tell you, oh, Black people sold slaves too. Yeah, that's what they want to tell you about Africa. But they won't tell you about the great, wonderful things that happened in Africa prior to America. They won't talk about how wonderful we were, how strong we were, how great of a unity we had, how we worked together, how we built together. We won't talk about the things that were invented by Africans before America. We won't talk about any of that. Why won't we talk about any of that? Because they don't want, or they don't necessarily care that we talk about any of that. Because the greatest thing in the world is America. And they want us to believe that we weren't great until we got to America. So keep that in your heads when you're discussing Black history. Do some research, do some reading, go back and talk about Egypt, talk about Africa before America. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of information about our culture before we came to America. And that's what I want to say, and that's my rant for today. Listen, this Black History stuff, if it's in America, it's also American history. If it happened on this land, it is American history. And black people came long before American history. That is all. Y'all have a wonderful day.